Welcome, everybody. I'm Tom Beccaro, and welcome to Politics in Perspective as we close out September. And what a week it's been. Seems to be always very interesting in politics today. We have a great show for you today. We're going to talk about Prop 50 in California and my new committee, Election Fairness, which is going to oppose Prop 50. And then we'll go to Trump's place in history with the Reagan biographer, Craig Shirley. I know you're going to enjoy that. And in our political roundup, we'll talk about the Comey indictment at long last. You might have my opinion right in it right there. And of course, Kamala Harris made the rounds this week with her tell-all. And I'll tell you why it's really just an end-all. So let's get right to it and start with my opening segment, the opening argument, Prop 50, and why it matters to you no matter where you're watching this show today. Prop 50, what is it and why does it matter? And what is my committee, the Committee for Election Fairness, know on Prop 50? Well, I had a long history in California politics. I used to be the Republican Party chairman, among other offices. I've done probably 2,000 plus events in that state, helping out with the grassroots, all in an effort to bring balance to representation in California. But then came along Gavin Newsom's career, and he's running for president. So that means he has to prove to the voters, and we talked about this a couple of times ago with Carla Marinucci and his standing among Democrat voters. He needs to prove to them that he's a fighter, and so far he's doing that. So he comes along with Prop 50. And what is Prop 50? And why is it so important no matter where you are in the United States? Prop 50 is an effort to gerrymander California even more than it really is today. And California, more than a decade ago, put a constitutional amendment in to remove the drawing of districts from the legislature and put it in the hands of an independent commission. While the commission remains somewhat dominated by Democrats, but it does a far better job than leaving it just to Democrats. Already, of the 50 plus congressional seats, the Democrats dominate that in California, even though Trump got something like 44% of the vote. They get far more seats than that in the House of Representatives from California. But Gavin Newsom's response to Texas, which has a law permitting it to do redistricting in the manner in which they did, California doesn't have a law that permits the governor to push the legislature to draw new maps. So what did Gavin Newsom do? Gavin Newsom had put on the ballot a constitutional amendment that for the next 3 cycles, those maps would be drawn by the legislature in a very partisan fashion so that Republicans would be eliminated from numerous seats and be left with essentially 5 only in California. So why does Prop 50 matter? Well, let's go through this. And there you see the logo for my new group, electionfairness.com. And the goal of that group is to stop this rewrite of California law and to keep the maps somewhat fair instead of what Gavin Newsom is promising to do. So go to electionfairness.com when you get a chance, sign up and help us out. So let's cover these 5 points. Number 1, it makes the maps partisan. Again, there was an independent commission. They were supposed to draw what they called community of interest, meaning they wanted to group communities that are somewhat alike into congressional districts. And in that way, they keep communities in, say, the North Coast or the Central Valley, they keep them together so that people whose lifestyles and economics are somewhat the same, they stay the same. So let's look at the maps that they've drawn just for your edification here. On the right is the current. And I want you to focus specifically in the upper right-hand corner in that light blue area. Those are way up north. They're on the very top of that is the Oregon border. In the upper right-hand corner, you have these very rural counties like Modoc County, Lassen County, and Trinity County. What's interesting about them, very rural farms, ranches, they have, like Modoc County has about 2 people per square mile. So there's your community of interest. Incredibly, all that blue are ranches and farmland by and large. Now go over to the map on the left and notice the upper portion of the state and the lime green. You have Modoc County, 2 people per square mile, and it goes all the way across the north. Trinity's in there, Del Norte's in there, Humboldt's in there, and it goes all the way down and it finishes at the bottom in San Francisco. So Gavin Newsom, in his drive to answer the move by Texas, even though he claims that's not the reason anymore, creates a community of interest with Modoc with 2 people per square mile with San Francisco. This is all a ploy to limit the number of Republicans and a bigger ploy for Gavin Newsom. This is bad for California. So let's go back to our 5 bullet points here. Number 1, it makes the maps partisan, as you can see. It's designed to remove Republicans. It will that new map will result in probably only 5 Republicans representing California at all in a state that has anywhere up to 40 million people in it at any one time. So it's blatantly partisan. I get it. Gerrymandering's been around 200 years. Both sides do it. The reality is the Democrats in their reliable blue states, about 19 of them, have done most of those states. They've already squeezed all the gerrymandering they can. Now they're just going for these last drops like California. Republicans, there's more reliable red states, about 25, 26, 27, and there's more runway for the Republicans. So this is a losing effort ultimately for the Democrats, but nevertheless, this is where Gavin Newsom comes into play. And here you have number 3. This is designed to help Gavin Newsom's career. Think about what's happening right now. Gavin Newsom is running pro-Prop 50 ads across the country. Why would he be doing that? 2 reasons. 1, he's pulling in money from across the country. George Soros, $20 million. He's recruited AOC to campaign for this. But what is this all doing? Why is his face all over the country? Because he's going to run for president. In December of 2026, he's going to announce for the Democrat nomination. He's already ahead in some early Democrat polls. This is about him. This is about him showing, quote, to the Democrats that he is a fighter. This isn't about communities of interest in California. Quite to the contrary. Point number 4. This is going to make things worse in California. Look, we all know Gavin Newsom's record. He's dead last in affordability. He is dead last in opportunity. It's ranked 50th in both those categories. What else is there? It's one of the worst states for crime. It's the highest in unemployment. It's the highest in poverty. What else do you care about? Okay, education. He's in the low 40s. Homelessness, number 1. We can go on and on and on. But if you care about crime, then if this passes, more defund the police style Democrats would be in Congress. So how does that help California? If you care about homelessness, more of the fund the homelessness complex, which is basically funding a permanent program. Well, if you're for more of homelessness because it's only grown under Newsom, then this is a good plan. But if you want to stop the homeless crisis in California or fix it, then Prop 50 hurts that. We can go issue by issue. California is #1 in unemployment in the country. That's ridiculous. It should have the lowest unemployment. Instead, it has the highest. Do you really think adding more Democrats to Congress will help California's unemployment crisis? What about water? Under Trump, love him or hate him, he did deals to bring more water to California. All those years where the Democrats had Congress or Obama, no deal on water. So if you care about water in California and therefore farming, you need water for farming, then Prop 50 will make matters worse. So, yes, I get that the big picture of this is the fight over the House of Representatives. But if you actually care about the California economy or you care about the people within it, almost every major issue, I can't think of one honestly that wouldn't be made worse, will be made worse by Prop 50 because there's no balance of representation. We need a greater balance between the parties in the state. We don't need a complete one-party state. And so my fourth point here is Prop 50 will make all the problems you care about, homelessness, crime, lack of water, on and on and on, joblessness. All of that will be worse after Prop 50, not better. So why would you vote for it? The last one is you can't trust Newsom. Now, this is the most ridiculous constitutional amendment I've ever seen in all my years. And I write history books. I got one of them over my shoulder. This constitutional amendment has to be a constitutional amendment because the redistricting independent commission is in the Constitution. So this is a temporary constitutional amendment in effect. And it's only good for the next 3 elections. And then it will go back to the independent commission. Well, let me ask you a question. Do you trust that after 3 times of this, that they're going to say, oh, let's just go back? No. What they're going to do is put a permanent measure on once they see. And how do we know that that would pass again? Well, think about it. If this passes, and then you have almost no Republican representation, the flight of Republicans out of the state will continue. And then it'd be easier for them to completely dispense with the independent commission. So if you care about California, Prop 50 is not for you. It will make more partisan maps, remove Republicans, boost Newsom for president, make California worse on all the issues, and then they'll make it permanent. That can't happen. We must stop Prop 50. And just go to electionfairness.com, electionfairness.com, simple site. You can help me out. We want to bring balance to California, not more of AOC, George Soros. Remember, Soros put in all those DAs that are being recalled. And we certainly don't need AOC's influence in California. Well, that's my opening argument. Join me at electionfairness.com, and we'll be right back with Craig Shirley on Trump's place in history.